Hello everybody, we are back here on The Hunter Call of the Wild with the Underrated Weapons series. You guys got it to 300 likes on the last one, so once again, if we can get this video to 300 likes, we will do another video on underrated weapons. Now, we are getting very close to being done with this series. There's not a whole lot of underrated weapons left, but there is still a few, so if we get this video to 300 likes, we'll do another one. But today we're going to be looking at a gun that you guys have been asking for pretty much ever since we started this series, and I think it's about time we finally do it. Now, it does have a little bit of accuracy issues at the moment at super long ranges, which is why I don't really use it that often anymore. But it is a very solid rifle, and I mean, just for me saying this, you probably already know which rifle I'm talking about. That rifle is the Mosin. It's a very strong gun, especially for its class, but the thing that really makes it, I guess, not get used anymore is the fact that it covers classes 3 to 7, so unlike the 243, you can't take something like a fox or a coyote, and unlike the 30-06 or the 303, you can't take something that's class 8 like a moose, so it really is in a weird place because most people just opt to go with 22, 243, their 4 to 8 class weapon of choice, and then the 300 Magnum. And with the Mosin, if you do that, you kind of can't take the same loadouts that you normally would in order to cover all the classes in just 4 rifles. You end up having to take an extra rifle in order to cover everything, or sacrifice the high-capacity magazines of something like the M1 or the 30-06 and have to go with something like the 7mm so that you can cover classes 4 to 9, therefore making it so you can still only have 4 guns with the Mosin, because it's a very strange class range, and it does make it kind of difficult to really figure out what you want to go with if you want to keep the, I guess, same amount of rifles that you would normally use. And I guess I made that way more complicated than it needed to be, but I was having a difficult time trying to figure out how to explain that properly. But I think you guys kind of understand what I'm talking about. In order to really fit the Mosin into your loadout, you have to make some changes, like instead of having the 300 and the M1, it makes more sense to run the 7mm if you're using the Mosin. That way you can still have the 243 for class 2 and the 22 for class 1. Otherwise, you just end up going overweight and can't carry all the stuff that you'd like to. Alright, well, we got a few different species out in front of us. We got ourselves some brown bear along with some reindeer, and we're going to try and get a shot into one of each of these and see how the Mosin does. Now, the brown bear is about as big as you will want to go with this thing, considering it's a class 7 and the Mosin max is at class 7. We're going to wait till it stands up and attempt to get a heart shot, although we do want to get some lung shots on them eventually as well. And I think we can just do that now. Should be good. And there's one into the reindeer as well. And the bear is starting to lose HP. It does lose it very slow, but it's still losing it, and that reindeer just went down. So it kills relatively slow on the larger animals, but it honestly has a lot more power than something like the 243 would, and that's kind of the one thing that makes a lot of people still like the gun, even though it's not as, I guess, efficient of a loadout to fit it into. Oh, that right there is a lynx. We should probably take that out too, since we can shoot it with this. And it does much better on something the size of a lynx, so yeah, that's probably the size of animal you're gonna want to shoot with the Mosin. However, it can be used on the bigger stuff as we just showcased. Let's take a look at the damage on this reindeer. So the thing about the Mosin is a lot of times you're only gonna get single lung on most of these bigger animals. And there's only one ammo type for the Mosin, which makes it so you don't really have the option to go with one ammo type for big game and one ammo type for small game, so you do kind of just have to deal with whatever it gives you. But this right here is a little lynx, and we hit literally everything. That poor little thing just got absolutely deleted. You know, considering that the Mosin is kind of a low caliber for the bear, it died pretty quick. We shot it like right over there, and it only ran this far. That's actually kind of impressive. I'm very impressed with that. Let's see, we got single lung. It ran 100 meters, it looks like. Wow. I mean, it could just be because they run kind of slow, but that's still kind of impressive. I expected it to run farther. So let's try a little bit of a longer shot now. Earlier I talked about how the Mosin has some inaccuracies at the moment and that it's primarily at long range. I want to see if I can replicate that just to kind of show you guys what I mean. It doesn't happen every time. It's a very rare thing, but because it does occasionally happen, that's why I haven't been using it much. I think it primarily happens with the Argus when zoomed all the way in, so we will grab the Argus real quickly. And 0 to 300. We're gonna aim right at the crease of the shoulder, and if it hits like a little bit too far forward and to the right, then that should be the inaccuracy that I'm talking about. Okay, so we were about at the crease of the shoulder, but a little bit high. So I guess we will take a look at that once we get up there. And here is our little reindeer. Let's see if the shot did what I was expecting it to. Like I said, it doesn't happen every time. In fact, it is quite a rare thing, but because it does occasionally happen, that's why I don't use the Mosin at the moment. And that time, it actually pretty much hit where we were aiming. Maybe a little bit to the right, but it's hard to say. I think that's about where we aimed. And honestly, at 300 meters, it does pretty good on a reindeer. It dropped it pretty quickly. 91.96 meters of tracking. Not bad. You know what? That's actually kind of a dark-looking caribou. I'm gonna need to get a better look at it, but I can't tell if that's just the dark brown or if that's melanistic. It's probably just the dark brown, but I mean, either way, we might as well get it down. Let's check the distance real quickly. So that guy's about 300 away. Let's see how this shot goes. Like I said, it's probably not Mela, but just in case. That should be good right there. And then let's also get this guy down, because that is a good looking level 4. That should be a solid hit. And then we might as well get one more for good measure. That also looked to be a pretty solid hit. Not too bad. Mosin is doing well. So yeah, this is definitely not a melanistic. It was just the lighting that was making it kind of look like that, but we did get a... Oh. You know, that might have actually hit to the left like I was talking about. I'll have it replay right here, but I think that might have done what I was talking about earlier. I'm not entirely sure though. But I mean, either way, we still did get the lung, and that is a decent little level 3 reindeer. Well, there's one of those really nice 4s. This guy is looking absolutely beautiful. And we did manage to get the shot that I was aiming for, so that's nice. I went a little bit high, but that's because we were 0 to 300. Overall, another good reindeer, but unfortunately it does just score a silver. I've noticed there's a lot of 4s that do that, which I really don't think that should be a thing. They really need to redo the reindeer and caribou true racks, make them a lot bigger. Because this honestly is not even realistic for caribou and reindeer. Like, they just don't get big enough in this game. And here is our final one. This is definitely the best looking of the 3. And we managed to just barely get a lung. Although that was kind of a rough distance that we were shooting at. I was 0 for 150 and just trying to compensate for drop. And it didn't go as well as the other 2, but it still managed to get where we wanted it to. 318.90, this one actually does score gold, and another good looking reindeer. So now that we have hunted quite a few species on Medved with the Mosin, I think it's time to hunt a species, or actually a couple species, that I feel fitted a little bit better. And the first one of those species is the feral goat. These guys are probably what you would want to be taking with a weapon like the Mosin. It's gonna do pretty decent on them, as you guys will see right about now. And yeah, that guy's going nowhere. He's barely gonna run at all. We also have one that just ran up on us, so let's go ahead and do a closer range shot on a goat if we can. We gotta make sure that it actually faces us, because this angle's not ideal. There we go. Let's try this if we can. Yep, that will do the trick right there. Looks like a single lung shot. And there it is. Let's go ahead and take a look at the damage. So it gets through quite a bit of flesh and still manages to hit the lung. That is one of the reasons why this is a great gun for the feral goats. It's got great penetration and can reliably get all the organs. The only issue like I was talking about, is the weird class range of the Mosin, so it makes it so it's hard to hunt on other maps, but on something like Aotearoa, it's actually the perfect gun. You could literally shoot everything here with just the Mosin, besides the turkey. And here's the one we shot from a little bit farther away. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we got going here. So we did hit vertebrae and double lung. Wow, that's actually kind of shocking. I didn't think that it would still run with that. Wow. That's kind of wild. So neither the 243 or the Mosin or the 223, which are all guns that are usable on these guys, can drop them. That's so weird. For some reason I thought the Mosin could. I mean, maybe it can at closer range, but it sure wasn't able to at long range. That's actually kind of surprising. But to be fair, I don't even agree with the fact that feral goats are class 3. I do feel like they should be class 4, because not even the 270 or the 6.5 can always drop them. And I feel like, considering we can blast a white-tailed deer with the M1 or the 303 all day and they just drop on the spot, it wouldn't really be too big of a deal if they raised up the feral goats to class 4 and made it so we could use those rifles on them. They are almost as resilient as something like a whitetail or a black-tailed deer anyway, so I don't think it would hurt the game too much to raise their class to 4, but let me know what you guys think in the comments. Kind of curious what you guys think about that. Now, one thing I noticed about this server is there's really not many need zones around all the feral goat locations, which means we very well could find ourselves a diamond one at one of these upper lakes that we're visiting now, because there's literally no zones at either of them. This is exactly what I love to see when I join a Aotearoa server. No zones at the best lakes. It usually means there's lots of good stuff because it hasn't been hunted. And that's another reason why I always search for low-level servers, because you find stuff like this where it hasn't been hunted at all and you basically get a first look at what's there. Hey, there we go. We got ourselves a level 5. Now, it's probably gonna troll. Most of them do, but on the off chance that it does make it, we definitely want to make sure we get a good shot on that guy. That is a pretty cool thing to find. Definitely gotta get a solid hit on it and hopefully have it make diamond. You know what? I think we might as well showcase the long-range abilities of the Mosin and maybe even get a chance to show off that inaccuracy issue that I was talking about, because, I mean, what better way to test something that could ruin the trophy than on a diamond potential? Might as well, right? Just to make things interesting, so let's try to get this thing to move if we can. Yeah, it's definitely gonna move from that. This is a long shot, like, even for a 300 meters zero distance, because it's like 350 away. You know, the more I look at those horns, I think this is a diamond. I think this one is gonna make it. Ooh, I'm kind of nervous now. Did we get it? Yes, we did. Oh my gosh. We actually got it. That actually is a little surprising. 350 meters, I believe. That's crazy. And I think that might be a diamond. It really looks like a diamond to me. There we go. It does look like it's the white-brown one. I believe that's the name of this fur type at least. And I think that might be a diamond. Maybe not, you know? It's so hard to tell. This is either going to be like very low 200s or it's going to be around the 211 to 212. Because there is a few different horn shapes in this game, or for the feral goats, where they look very similar, but they're just slightly shorter. So, let's see. It is just a gold. It is the lower scoring version of, like, this shape. That sucks. 199.10. But, decent shot. Actually, wow. Okay, that's a lot of bullet drop. That's a lot of bullet drop. I think it might have actually done what I was talking about. We aimed at the top of the back, above the spine, like right about here, I think, and it dropped down to here. Once again, I'll have kind of a replay going right now so we can kind of see exactly where I was aimed, because I want to make sure we get an accurate representation of where I was aiming versus where it actually hit. Since I have mentioned the inaccuracies of the Mosin a few times in this video, And I just want to make sure that it still is a thing, and that I'm not just saying that, because I have had a few people say that they never encounter that, but I had it not too long ago, actually. It was during one of the videos I did after they updated the game to the Rancho update, and we had that issue on Layton when I was hunting some blacktail. One thing that I probably should mention about this accuracy issue that I keep mentioning is I've never had it happen at close range. It's only been over very long distances, like 300 plus meters, and a lot of people aren't going to be taking shots that long, so it really shouldn't be an issue for most people. And I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of people never have this happen, but I usually take quite a few long-range shots on animals using like the Argus scope, and that might be why I tend to have it happen more than some. But another thing that is a theory is some people think that it might be the Argus scope itself being fully zoomed in that causes those issues, but that is not confirmed as far as I know, and really nothing is confirmed. We just know that there's definitely something that causes it to occasionally be inaccurate. And that actually brings me to another thing. Let me know down in the comments if you guys have ever experienced the weird inaccuracies of the Mosin, or if it's been completely fine for you. And if it's been fine, what type of scope do you use, and what ranges do you usually shoot from? Because I want to kind of nail this down and figure out exactly what could have been causing it and why I occasionally experience it and others don't. But at a range like that, it's really no issue at all. It's amazing for things like Bobcat, and clear up to stuff like Reindeer, as we saw, at anything below 200 meters, really. Once you get out to the far distances, it has more issues, but even the 243 has issues at 300 plus, especially with drop. There is our little Bobcat. Let's go ahead and take a look at the damage on this little thing. There's actually no blood for some reason. I'm not exactly sure why, but we did end up getting double lung. That hit exactly where I was aiming. Absolutely destroyed that poor little Bobcat, and I think the Mosin's probably the best Bobcat gun, honestly. Like, it does so good on them. Provided you don't have anything happen with accuracy, it is fantastic on them. But I think now that we've covered a wide range of species with the Mosin, I think it's time that we go look for a diamond. So if I can find a diamond, then you guys will see it after this little segment right here. If not, then I guess we'll just jump into the outro. But I'm going to see if I can find a diamond. If nothing else, maybe something like a mountain lion that's easy to find. So I guess we will be back shortly. There we go. We finally found ourselves a level 9 to hopefully take out with the Mosin, and hopefully end up making diamond on it so we can show how this Mosin does on a diamond. So let's see if we can get a good angle on this thing and take it out. I definitely want to make sure we get a good clean shot, and it looks like it's spooked. I actually didn't realize we were as close as we are. That's unfortunate. However, I think we probably could get this. Mountain lions are a little buggy when they try to flee, so we might be okay here. In fact, I think we can just move farther to the right over here and we'll be able to get a perfect angle. And yes, that is definitely the case. Let's go ahead and get a shot on it. Beautiful. That is taking it down super fast. I mean, that just shows the power of the Mosin. It does really good on a mountain lion. Well, let's hope this thing makes it. There's definitely no guarantee because mountain lions do troll quite a bit, but let's see if it makes it. It is a diamond, 3920, and that was a double lung liver shot. So that explains why it started dying a little bit quicker than I expected it to. That is a good looking trophy, and I'm glad we were able to get ourselves a diamond with the Mosin. And I actually found it quicker than I was expecting. I found it literally like 2 servers after that last part of the video, so it went pretty good. I took like an hour break in between the last scene and searching for a server, and I come back, and second server we look at, we get one. Well, guys, I think that is going to be it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you are brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, click the like button, and ring that notification bell. Remember, we are trying to get to 300 likes on this video so that we can do another video in this series, and we're getting really close to being done with it, so there's only a couple guns left that we can use, and I'm excited to get both of those out. So if you guys haven't already, hit that like button and we'll do another. But with that being said, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace!